Hi folks, I'm Geek here. I hinted at doing this a while back, a quick review of some of the new lockpicking tools I picked up while I was at Defcon this year. If you want a quick look at my face, hi there, I'm looking a little Grizzly Adams right now, so I'll just go give you the overhead view for the time being. Here I have spread out my lovely Sparrow's mat I got from InfoSec Rogue, a few of the tools and locks I'm going to use for this demo. Now before we actually get to the demo of the main tools I'm going to show off, I want to show off a few other things I picked up while at Defcon. This is a cool little handcuff key that's made by Sere, and it's designed to open up not just American standard handcuffs, but ones from a few other foreign countries. My current problem is I'm having a hard time sourcing those other handcuff types. If anybody can help me, look it up online what Sere calls this particular handcuff key, and see if you can help me figure out what handcuffs I should buy to demo other varieties. You see it has that little itty bitty gap in the middle that allows it to open up. I want to say maybe that's the German type handcuff, but I'm not quite sure. Some other cool tools I picked up while I was at Defcon. Tool, the Order of Locksport. I'm trying to remember the Open Order of Locksport, I think maybe it is. Regardless, they came out with a new card, and I've already torn this card apart, and it's going to be slightly covered here in a bit what some of these tools are. It's actually pretty nifty for an emergency card. Once you actually have torn it apart, which I have, you'll probably want to take a file, because you'll notice there's a few little rough spots where it attached to the rest of the card. That needs to be fixed up. But you have a couple of rakes, and I'm pretty sure these are 1/4 inch and 1/5 of an inch spacing on them, and probably based on Christina's recent designs. I will talk about that here in a bit. We also have a half diamond, what I believe they call a reach pick, and a fairly deep hook, and a more medium hook as well. And a couple of tension tools. Truthfully, on this set, the tension tools kind of suck, but for a little card type device, I mean, it's a lot better than those business cards that you end up seeing a lot of people putting out. I mean, it costs more, of course. You have to buy it from them. But for a little emergency card, it does work pretty nice. But those are just little side items. The main items I want to talk about are a couple of, or several new rakes I've gotten from companies at Defcon this year. The first ones I'm going to talk about, here is the Sandman. This one is from Sparrow Lockpicks. And it's a pretty radical style pick, because you have two different surfaces you can open locks on with it. But it actually does work decent on some locks. It's probably too severe for most locks you're going to encounter. But here I have a little hockey puck lock for Master. And depending on lock, it works pretty decently. On some of your more mild locks, as far as what the pinning is, as far as like what the bitting depths are, it may not work as well. But in this one, it worked really, really well. Another one that they've put out is the Octo, which I got this year. And the Octo should work pretty well on most. It's kind of like a very spaced out bow guitar. Like for instance, I believe this is a 1/4 inch one that Christina, which I'll cover in a second, made. And you notice this one looks a little bit more spread out. But the Octo, depending on the lock, works decently well. I say that, and let's see if I can actually get this lock open with it. If not, we'll try again with a different lock. But I mean, some of the rakes that Sparrows has been making have been this one I wouldn't call a Hail Mary style rake. But some of the ones they make, I'd call Hail Mary style rakes, where it's like, well, none of the other rakes I've tried have actually worked. Let me try this one. But that one did okay in this max lock number 5. There are some other ones I would call Hail Mary. There's like the Queen and King picks, like Queen and King rakes. These ones are going to be pretty much niche items. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with them. I have a coworker named Paul, or we call him Deuce, who does a decent job with them on some locks, but they're kind of Hail Mary picks, but I have them because I liked the aesthetics of them, and nice to add to the collection. Now the main show for this particular demo is some of Christina's picks. Now Christina is a lady out of, I believe she's with Tool San Francisco. I see her out there at B-Side San Francisco every year, and she designed a couple of these rave rakes. Now some people call them bow guitars. Technically we should probably call them rave rakes, because a bow guitar is a two-piece tool system where you use one as a tension tool while you use the other one as you pick. To give you an example of that, I should probably just go ahead and pull a couple out. To give you a proper example of what Bogota tools are, this is a proper set of Bogota tools, where you use, one is your tension tool, while you use the other one as your rake. So, I'm using one as my tension tool, then use the other one as a rake to try to get the lock open. These are a couple ones that Armando made himself. I got these from Sere. They're pretty nifty. I originally bought them purely for the pimp factor of, oh wow, the guy who originated Bogotas made these. I want some. And I figured I'd just kind of put them away in my collection, never use them. But after getting used to the longer handles and so forth, I actually use them more than the Sere normal titanium set. Which, while the titanium set is nice, and it's made of, well, non-ferromagnetic metal, it's made of some kind of titanium alloy, I really did get accustomed to these ones from Armando. But I digress. Anyway, these things are designed wave-wise somewhat like Armando's Bogotas, but they're computer-generated and they're made to more precise specifics. First of all, you see there's a couple more humps on them. Armando's, if I recall correctly, are about a 1/4 inch spacing between each one. That would be the same as what this one is. And that's because he used, if I recall correctly, a chainsaw file for doing the cutting originally, and that's about a 1/4 inch depth. What Christina did is she designed some that had 1/4 inch spacing between them and 1/5 of an inch spacing between them. And you also notice that there's a slight difference, and it's very hard to see. You probably won't even see it on camera. It looks like I have two sets of the same pick or same rake, but I don't. Technically, one of these is sinusoidal, and the other one is cyclosoidal. And I recently posted on Twitter an image of a. I took a quick picture of Tools Booth's little description of what the difference is. But you notice that this one on the right, well, my right at least, this one I'm touching right now, it is sinusoidal, and it has a slightly smoother curve to it. And this one is cyclosoidal, and it has a little bit more grabby of a curve to it. Sorry, let me hold it up. Cyclosoidal. But these will actually turn out to be very well made rakes. Only thing I might suggest for them is you might want to put a little bit of 1/4 inch heat shrink on them a couple times, but that would cover up your pretty tool logo. But these ones have actually been pretty successful for me on a lot of locks. And I'm going to go ahead and try that. I personally have been a fan more of the sinusoidal, the ones that are a little bit smoother. And they have worked well for me in a lot of locks. As far as rave rakes go, they're very well made. I don't know what metal she had them made out of, but they've worked pretty well in a lot of the normal hardware store style locks you're going to be able to find. The problem with this particular number 5 is I've stretched it out over time because I've picked it so many times. But that was the sinusoidal. I believe this is, this is the 1/5 inch spacing one. But they all work fairly decently. Here's a little Masslock 140. And right now I think I have, yes, the 1/5 inch one. And it works pretty nifty. So I highly recommend picking these guys up. And if one doesn't work, try one of the other gauges. But they're pretty nifty, and I'm pretty sure they used this design when they were making the new tool card. Because if you look in that one, it looks like, well, looks more like the cyclosoidal ones, but it looks like they have a 1/5 inch and a 1/4 inch one in there. And they're decent. I just recommend filing off these little flashing points where the card originally hooked together. But all in all, pretty nifty, and I'm happy with my new toys from Defcon. You all have a good day.